The next, for our next practical, we are going to look at methods that are used to separate soluble, solid, and liquid mixture. Soluble, liquid, and solid mixture. And we are going to start by separating a mixture of sodium, chloride, and water. So we are going to go through that practical, and these are the apparatus that we are going to require for the practical. We need an evaporating dish. Remember, we talked about it at the beginning of the course. We have a source of heat. You require a source of heat. You require wire gauze for even distribution of heat when you place the beaker on the heating apparatus, and you're going to require 2 beakers. So the procedure that we are going to use is as follows. Take the mixture of salt and water and put it in a beaker. Then heat the mixture and allow the water to escape from the beaker to the atmosphere. When crystals start to form, transfer the solution to a watch glass and place it on a water bath. You place the solution on an evaporating dish and place it on a water bath. This enables gentle heating and prevents the salt from spitting out as the water evaporates. Note, this method only allows you to collect only one substance, that is the salt, because the water is allowed to escape to the atmosphere. So we have the salt, which we call sodium chloride, the common table salt, and some water, which I am going to mix. And as I mix, you're going to see that the salt dissolves in water. Then we are going to use the method of evaporation to show that you can actually separate the two and we be left with the common salt. So use a clean spatula, scoop out 2 spatula ends of common salt, add some water and stir while adding. As you can see, salt is soluble in water in that you cannot see the particles of salt much as they are inside the water. So we are going to heat this mixture, and as we heat, we allow the water to evaporate. This is my portable burner, which I am going to heat the water to evaporation. I am going to place the wire gauze on the burner for even distribution of heat. As the water boils, it escapes to the atmosphere. through evaporation, and with time, we will be left with the salt alone in the beaker. When quite some amount of water has evaporated, we are going to transfer the remaining solution onto an evaporating dish so that it can evaporate slowly to avoid the salt from spitting out of the beaker, and so that we can be able to collect it as well. It takes some time, but note that in this experiment, using evaporation method, you will only be able to collect salt because the water has escaped into the environment. So we are going to transfer this solution onto an evaporating dish, and then we place it on a water bath for gentle heating. As the water in the beaker heats, it will transfer the heat energy onto the evaporating dish so that the water in the solution continues to evaporate. The water in the beaker is what we are referring to as the water bath. The water heats, and when it heats, it transfers the heat energy to the solution on the evaporating dish so that the water continues to evaporate and leave behind salt particles. This method will only allow us to collect the salt because the water has escaped to the atmosphere. So when all the water has escaped into the atmosphere, we are left behind with salt, which can clearly be seen at the bottom of my beaker. So we have successfully been able to collect salt